Hey, well, so I wanted to move on from Rokita and talk about Diego Morales for just a moment. Now, listen, he didn't do anything bad this week that we know of, but he is in the news because Morales is hosting a series of public meetings on whether the state should require all municipal elections to move to presidential or congressional midterm election years. Part of the meeting was a presentation by the Secretary of State's office. It covered the potential cost savings and voter turnout impact of moving municipal elections. So, municipal elections statewide in 2023 cost about $18 million with voter turnout of just 20%. There are more public meetings like this in coming weeks in Jeffersonville, Lake County. Tracy, maybe you should check that one out. And down in Evansville, also a part of these public meetings is consideration of vote centers, which we have talked about here in the past. But for right now, um, Derek, I wanted to ask you whether you think moving municipal elections to even numbered years is a good idea.
I mean, if you think about purely the cost benefit of it, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea because you're not having another, election cycle that you have to gear everything up for. You pay the same employees, the same people doing, you don't have to get more people for 3 years out of 4 year cycle. You only need it every other year type thing. The bad part of it is the national election will overshadow local elections. Yeah, you get more voters out, but you kind of destroy the municipality of the odd year um, election cycle.
Yeah. Like, so you're saying you want the municipal election to be like the only show in town for
Yeah.
that year. It really the people that it brings to that election are the people who are really invested in the local election, as opposed to people who are maybe just paying attention to the national stuff.
Mhm.
Tracy, what do you think? I mean, it's kind of a balance you got to weigh, right? Is it like
Yeah.
there's the cost, there's the voter turnout thing, and then like Derek says, there's the, well, are you even paying attention to the local races in that sort of scenario?
You know, I I'm on the fence about this one. Like I don't want to be reflexively, oh no, don't change anything. Like I wanna give credence to the idea that there is the possibility that this is logistically better all around for everyone. But that said, you know, it would be nice if people would spend a little more time focused on municipal elections, just so that you can stay ahead of the noise. Because historically, we've seen that that's not the case most times, and especially if you are going for if you do make this shift, the local elections are going to get no attention, and then that divides not only people's attention, but it divides the resources that people who are like the Democratic Party or whoever's working to promote these agendas, it divides their ability to focus on one thing. So they don't have the ability to just say, pay attention to this and to canvas about that or promote it or campaign on it. So I guess I've just talked myself back into a circle of where I'm still kind of on the fence about it. Um,
Uh,
uh,
there's a lot of things to consider. I mean, Trish, I think one of the criticisms I read about this proposal was that the ballot would just be really long.
hmm,
What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I agree with that. Here, my number one thought about this is part of the reason that the turnout in municipal elections is so low is because there's only one party on the ballot. I'm sorry. There are so many places in Indiana where Democrats don't even run people for city council or mayor. And so, in some ways, we have ourselves to blame for the fact that only 12% of Hoosiers vote in municipal elections. So let's look at it that way. I think it is. We need to go back to the reason that these municipal elections were carved out in the first place.
Hmm.
And it was for the very reasons you guys are talking about, because we need to focus on the things that happen in our own cities. Now, the Indiana Republicans in the legislature have taken away a lot of the municipal power to govern themselves, like to keep guns out of their parks or any of these other kinds of things that over the years, the Indiana General Assembly has become the largest city council in the country. And so I am totally opposed to this idea, because when you put that together with partisan elections of school board candidates,
Yeah.
this is rigging. This is another manifestation of what Scott's been talking about. There will be other ways for these guys to keep power that they don't deserve.
There's a lot more to think about here than I thought. What's up, Tracy?
Can I just throw out an unpopular Democratic opinion about the school board things?
Sure.
I'm going to admit that I'm torn about this, because I live in a town that has been MAGA'd up the ass now. We're paying the price of it, which is why I'm leaning strongly to your perspective that we need to keep our municipal elections separate. But that said, as a parent with kids in the system, I want to know the political affiliation of my school board candidates, because I want to be sure that they're not going to be electing some MAGA jackass that wants to ban trans kids or prevent my kid from using different pronouns or cancel my special education services or defund it to the point where it's not working. Like, there is an argument. I understand the tradition of not having any sort of political listings on and party affiliations for school board candidates, but there is a perspective where it's beneficial to have that information before you vote.
Just my only rebuttal to that is,
Please.
if you feel that way and there are people who are running who are anti-trans and all the things that you've listed that I would oppose to, then get to a public forum, ask them the questions, and make them say out loud these positions, and then run against gather up your neighbors to oppose them based on their positions. It's the positions that we oppose. It's not the individual people, it's their positions that we oppose. And educate people in education. I know this better than anybody else on this call. Teachers, people in education do not like politics. I think Glenda Ritz is successful 2012 when she got elected, the last Democrat to get elected in Indiana. And I can tell you, it was like pulling teeth to get teachers to understand that you have to vote for a Democrat because the education policy is different. But they don't want, the people who are really invested in public education are opposed to the I can't say it, making it political.
Politicization. Oh, it is hard to say.
There we go.
Thank you.
So that's my comment. Go ahead, Aaron.